Hi there, folks. Back at it again. I'm Foxxyboi, and I'm here with DJ KAIØTE. So, tell us a little bit about your preparations for your Club FYNN set.
So when I first applied, I started making the set as if I already had gotten in so that I could get a good head start. Just if. It was kind of a I applied if. And so I started making the set and I really wanted to like make it cohesive and all together. So each and I'll explain a little bit later, but I make my sets in little blocks is what I call them so that I can have some heavier tracks and then have a melodic one to kind of keeps the whole set flowing nicely instead of just overbearing bass the entire time. So I went into the mindset of I have to make these blocks and then make a whole set out of them, and it kind of led to the whole finished project.
I see. So, what is your experience within the VR DJ club scene?
I'm still relatively new to this. I just started maybe like half a year ago, and it's honestly been one of the best things I've ever done. I never really had a forum to release my mixes or sets or play for others. And this really gives me not only that place to play for people and upload the music that I would love to share, but also I've met some amazing people and amazing DJs. I really wouldn't be as happy as I am now if I didn't get into this stuff.
So, were you DJing before getting into the VR scene?
I was DJing personal mixes and little projects, but nothing ever came of them. I see it more as practice to where I am now.
I see. So now you're in VR and you're DJing a lot. You had said earlier behind the scenes that you didn't expect to get so deep into the VR scene when you
Yeah.
started coming and hanging out in here.
Yeah, I didn't even expect to ever be doing this for VR, but I got in with one club and I couldn't even attend my own show because I didn't have good enough headset to even like go and see myself perform. And then eventually I upgraded my gear because I realized, hey, I'm really into this. And so I kept going and now I'm going deep into it and I'm having the time of my life.
Such an expensive hobby for such a free video game. What was your inspiration to begin DJing?
I have always been not only a big fan of EDM, but a big fan of music in general. And especially into the EDM, I have certain artists that I love and I look up to. And I started watching more of their sets and their shows and even going to some of my own and realized that like, hey, that DJ thing is actually really cool. I would love to make my own transitions and surprise the crowd in different ways. And so I bought my first mixer and I've stuck with it ever since, and it's become my main hobby, and I absolutely love it.
Who are you looking up to and getting inspiration from in the DJ scene these days?
My favorite artists currently are they're known as Illenium and Excision, and I really look up to not only their music, but their mixing style too, and the way they can hold the crowd together with how they'll lay out their sets, and I really could look up to that. But for, like, transitions and doubles and stuff, there are some artists up and coming like SJ, You Say B-Flow. I love the stuff that they're doing, and so I'll take inspiration from them and their doubles, and I'll kinda merge it all together to make my own sets.
So that leads into the question, what techniques are you utilizing?
So I explained earlier the blocks that I do, and so
Yeah.
I use yeah, I'll do a melodic song to kinda start it off, and I mean melodic bass, so still dubstep. And then I'll mix like I'll do a melodic intro, and then I'll basically go drop, build, and I'll continue that until it kinda starts getting overwhelming, and then I'll restart with another more slower song just to kinda level it out and keep it well mixed, I guess. I can't find the word exactly, but it keeps a good flow, and so I really look and try to do that because then it's not overbearing.
So, talk to me a little bit about your hardware and software that you're using to make your mixes.
All right. I run my main mixer. I run a Pioneer DDJ Flex 6, and then for another piece, I use a Launchpad X. And so the Launchpad has all the features that aren't directly on the DDJ itself. So all of my effects, all of my hot cues, even loading tracks is all on the Launchpad. So that instead of changing so many things while I'm mixing, I have the Launchpad that I could just click and it's all MIDI mapped, so I can essentially mix faster and not have to worry about clicking things or multiple buttons, and I can really focus on what's playing and what's running. For software, I just run Rekordbox, and it's a love-hate relationship with that software, but
Ooh, I bet.
at the end of the day, I love it.
What are some things you think no one is talking about in this DJ scene?
It's a tough question to answer, but I've really put some thought into it, and I feel like there are these underlying rules, especially on new DJs, that people face. And like for one, using beat sync or where to set your hot cues, people will argue about that forever if using beat sync is taking away the aspect of DJing or the music, or I feel like it doesn't matter. Me using beat sync doesn't take away from how the crowd feels. And I feel like many DJs,
Oh.
or especially newer DJs, are turned off by this because it kind of, for them to use these features that really do, in my opinion, help and can make it easier, but some are so set on, oh, it's quote unquote fake DJing or whatever, and so people kind of look away from it. But I really think it's all about the love of music, and whatever tools are there to use, I say use them, because at the end of the day, we're just playing music for people.
I had not heard about that. Interesting. Thank you very much. And I mean, you did kind of give us a little bit of advice in your last answer, but what is a piece of advice you could give to someone looking to start DJing?
For anybody starting DJ, I say go for it. If you love the music, if you love creating something for people, if you really want to try it, sure, it's kind of an expensive thing to get into, but just go for it. And don't fall into the rules that people will set on you. Mix how you want to mix. Mix something you like, because at the end of the day, it's how you feel, not how online presence feels or whatever. So just go for it. Do what makes you happy.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate it. You've been lovely, and I'm just looking forward to your set at Furality's Club Finn.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you all so much for having me here. It really is. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm been Foxxyboi, and this has been DJ KAIØTE, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.